I think you're full of it, friend, and so am I. So let's talk about our capacity. How much can you hold? No, not how much can you eat, or how much can you drink, or just how full of it you might be. Webster tells us that the meaning of capacity is the ability to hold or contain people or things. Well, it's kind of a fun thought. Wonder how many people I can hold. How many do you think you can hold? Most of the time, I have trouble with one. And when I try for two, well, let's just say the whole is more than the sum of its parts at that point. I don't get much better results trying to contain people, neither. I can create space for them or open up myself as a container to allow someone inside, in a sense, by listening or getting to know them. But there's no way that you or I could make enough space to contain the totality of another human's being. And even if we could, I sincerely doubt that we should. So, what are we to make of capacity then? Maybe it's sufficient to hold just a part of a person. Think of someone you'd like to hold. Got one? Great. Now, think of what part of that person you might like to hold, like their hand. There's a nice connection there. And maybe that's a start towards holding more, maybe like a hug. I guess we've not contained them at that point, despite holding some part of them that they agree to share with us. If we're doing it right, they may even be holding us back. Did I say that? Are they holding us back? Not in that sense. Maybe in that sense. I guess it depends on which parts we're engaging. But that only touches on the physical dimension. We've got the emotional and psychological dimensions to account for as well. Hopefully, that's where we're engaged with our friend to create capacity within one another to share those intangibles. You know, the ones that make us feel, those feelings that manifest in our own physical beings. And there's a whole range of capacity for engagement when we open up a bit. Could be as simple as nervous butterflies or cold feet. Maybe the person that you engage with has a calming influence on you, and your heart rate slows down, and your body releases tension, you relax. Sometimes we get the opposite. The heart rates increase, and we're building tension with one another in some not very calming ways. Our bodies have a funny way of moving blood around to certain areas without necessarily asking for our permission. Or maybe that's just me. Well, all that distraction aside, we still haven't determined by what measure we can talk about our capacity. Certainly, it's not linear. We can't say that my capacity is 100 miles or even that it's 2 meters. It just doesn't make sense. Can we talk about it in terms of volume? I can say that my capacity is 5 liters or 305 cubic inch displacement, give or take, of course, because I've got 350 heads. It feels like we're a little closer, but not much, unless we can talk about just how much of themselves that other person is willing to give us. And we have to be measuring the same way, or it's just not going to work. It's a fine mess, isn't it? We can't much tell ourselves what we've got. How in the world can we expect someone else to tell us what they've got and how much of it we're allowed? See, I'd have you consider that even if you have 100% of yourself and tried to give only 3% to someone else to hold or contain, that there's no way to measure it in a way that you'd both agree on. Even if we could give ourselves to another person 100%, I think we already determined that's a bad idea, they wouldn't know just what they were signing up for. And as such, depending upon who we engage with, and that capacity can be traded, exchanged, and shared through that engagement. Efforts to measure it or quantify it will always fall short of the experience we have with one another. Kind of goes along the lines of the old saying, they won't remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. You see, friend, I believe you and I have infinite capacity. Speaking for myself, I'm pretty sure I'm always full of it. You get my take. What say you?